he had enormous courage and commitment, and I'll explain why, to his subject, to his theory, and that's incredibly important. And something rather lovely, I think, is that Darwin saw real beauty in evolution, and I think that shouldn't be underestimated. So I want to say thank you to the Charles Darwin Research Station, and of course to the national parks, to the Gelder, and of course Darwin 200, and the many, many organisations in Galapagos that are involved. I was out today on the boat with Galapagos Infinity and met up with a bunch of young girls who were so excited to be out in the water, and it's absolutely wonderful to see what's going on in Galapagos with the community. So very briefly, 1835, Darwin was here in Galapagos. It was 4 years into his voyage, and he observed the mockingbirds. We just saw one flying around a minute ago, and this just started to make him question things. 1836, he started to write about the stability of species. He was thinking that this might begin to undermine the stability of species. And 1837 was when he started his transmutation notebooks, what we would call evolution. So that was a clear step 2 years later into his evolutionary thoughts. And he did that wonderful tree of life. You've probably seen this branching tree of life. It shows horizontal lines or perpendicular lines where things went extinct, and it shows branching patterns and this wonderful tentative, I think, next to that. So that just gives you an idea. Darwin worked within a community, both global and local. He enlisted help from pigeon fanciers, from farmers, from dog breeders. He received and sent around 4 letters a day, so he was quite prolific in his community building. He had 22 years before, after that first transmutation notebook, to the moment that he published on the origin of species, was 22 years. So that shows enormous commitment. I'm not sure exactly why he delayed, but it may have just been that he wanted to accumulate information. So courage to publish in 1859. So what has Charles Darwin got to do with our polycrisis, the extinction crisis, the climate crisis? Well, Charles Darwin said we were part of nature. The UN Secretary General says that we are waging war on nature. So in which case we are waging war on ourselves. Creating knowledge-based communities is certainly a really, really important thing for the future. Communities are great in all ways, but they should be based on knowledge and scientific fact. And this is really important for democracy. People need to understand science in order to be able to be part of the democratic process, so that we know how to vote and what decisions we want to make about our future. We need to be able to communicate this and understand it. And of course, Charles Darwin Research Station and the national parks are working hard to educate the local people. And as well, the Darwin 200 is doing the most incredible job, as many of you are going to experience. Many of you already have experienced, and we're very, very excited to have you all here. So engaging locally and globally and listening to local people, and Felipe Cruz, who was an absolutely incredible man, very much taught me about community and the importance of engaging. So we need to imagine a future that is a utopian future. So much of these films sort of describe horrendous futures. And actually, it's really important, I think, to think about what a realistic, what a beautiful, healthy, happy future could look for humanity. And we don't want to go back to nature. Clearly, nobody is suggesting, well, nobody serious could suggest that we could go back to nature. But I like to think that we should be going forward with nature so that all the decisions that we make in life have nature at its absolute heart. Both Galapagos and Darwin 200 show enormous commitment and courage. So thank you all for your incredible hard work, and especially in Galapagos, 65 years of saving species from extinction. And let's hope we have another 65 years of the Charles Darwin Research Station. So, as I said, Darwin found real beauty in evolution, and I can't ever give a talk without doing a little Darwin reading. It's very, very short, I promise. There is grandeur in this view of life, with its several powers having been originally breathed into a few forms or into one. And whilst this planet has gone cycling on according to the fixed laws of gravity, from so simple a beginning, endless forms, most beautiful and most wonderful, have been and are being evolved. And nowhere is evolution more beautiful than on the Galapagos Islands. Thank you.
Bravo.